Hey everyone, it's Anthony Allen Ramos. Happy Pride, and we are continuing to celebrate and spotlight important people from all over the globe this Pride Month. Earlier this year, Greek vocalist George Perris decided to publicly share his truth and come out. His latest album, No Armor, is available now, and it's full of songs that he found inspirational. I'm talking about songs from ABBA, Billie Eilish, Joni Mitchell, Stephen Sondheim, and so many more. And I'm really excited to be chatting with George today, all the way in Greece.
Hi, Anthony. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
Really good.
Well, it's been a couple months, since you decided to publicly talk about wanting, to talk about being gay and share your story and share your truth. How are you feeling? It's a special time of the year. It's Pride Month. So how have things been so far?
Great. I mean, it was liberating on one hand. On the other hand, what I always used to say is that I didn't see it actually as a coming out because I've never been in the closet in reality. I've always been open with everyone in my life, my friends, my colleagues, my family. I've been true to who I am. It's just that I never had the courage to speak about it publicly. That's the only difference. And I only did it for one reason, to be honest, only to inspire and help, even if I can help just one teenager out there to accept themselves, ahead of time, then that's all that matters to me. And that's the reason why I did it. So at the beginning, it was weird because, believe it or not, even in 2022, I received quite a few negative comments on social media and stuff, but the love that poured was way stronger than all the hate comments.
Well, yeah, let's focus on the good stuff because with you having such a worldwide appeal and a fan base, I would imagine that you have received some really inspiring messages of support, or like you said,
I got quite a few messages of support, but most importantly, and that's what made me even happier about my decision, was that I received so many stories from kids everywhere around the world, telling me that I inspired them and that they found in me and in my story something that they can relate to, and that's very important, because what I think is that if I can fulfill a void that was there when I was growing up, because when I was growing up, there was no example of the normality of a gay personality or a gay relationship, as simple as that. It was nowhere. It was not in the media. It was not in school. It was nowhere to be found. So when you grow up like that, you feel like you don't belong anywhere. You can't fit in anywhere. And that creates problems when you go later on into your adult life. So the fact that so many young people sent me messages to tell me that my story helped them is so important to me. And frankly, it's all that matters.
It makes it all worth the while. You mentioned media, and I know that George Michael had a profound effect on you when he came out publicly in 1998. And I'm thinking, I know what George Michael meant for me, and we are upon the release of a new documentary about George Michael, which is very great. I've seen it, so get ready for that. But,
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I won't. But tell me about what George and that moment in the late 90s meant for you.
When that happened, when George came out, I think it was in 98, right?
Yeah.
I was 15 years old at the time. And it was right at the time when I was trying to figure out to really understand that I was gay or not, and to come to terms with it and to be able to express it. So seeing a guy that I really admired because I loved his music, I think he's one of the most important songwriters and singers that we have out there. Older is just an album that to me is one of the most sacred albums in the history of pop music. And the fact that, you could see a young, handsome, talented, successful guy coming out as gay was an epiphany to me. I had never seen that up until then. It really gave me hope.
I felt very similar. I know we're similar age, and it was such an important thing. And I just remember so many feels and like emotions with George in general. And like that album Older actually is coming out in a re-release in July, so get ready for that. But let's talk about your music, because No Armor is the name of the album. Is it kind of metaphorical in terms of like you kind of letting your guard down and letting the world know exactly who you are?
Yes. You know, in this album, I wanted to have my identity very crystal clear. And that's why most of these songs are covers. Not all of them. There's 3 original songs in there too, but most of them are covers. And they're songs that have inspired me ever since I was a kid till today to be who I wanted to be. And at the same time, musically, all these songs were arranged in a very Greek, in a very Mediterranean way. We used instruments like the bouzouki, the mandolin, or special percussion that all have this very Greek touch to them. So when the time came to pick up a title for the album, I chose No Armor very simply because, yes, I was letting my guard down and I wanted people to know who I really am. And that's why, to be honest with you, now was the right time for me to also talk about my personal life, because, you know, I think we live in a time where our generation has made a request to communicate with each other's truth. We don't want hypocrisy. We want the real thing. So to me, coming out and releasing this album meant that, you know, at the age of 38, I just was myself 100%, period.
So happy to hear that. Did you find, you know, thinking about Greek culture and rooted so much in tradition, were you apprehensive at all about coming out and talking about your sexuality, you know, given, you know, your background with that, or do you find that people in Greece and beyond are more accepting now?
Well, that's a very long discussion. I mean, the truth is that in my country, I'm one of the very few artists who have decided to come out. In fact, I think I may be the first singer actually in Greece that came out. So it wasn't easy, but at the same time, it set an example, and I really hope that more colleagues and friends of mine will follow. I think that society is ready to accept all of that. I think we're even past that. I mean, I think that, to be honest with you, I think that coming out is trivial. Sometimes I feel like it's trivial in 2022. And then at the same time, as soon as I say that, I remind myself of the fact that out there's still someone who would rather be dead than be gay. So I guess it's not that trivial anymore. It still is important to come out. The thing is that I was really surprised by some reactions. I was surprised by the fact that a lot of straight men called me to congratulate me that day in my home country. And that made me extremely happy, you know, because I always feared that, I don't know why, but I always feared that straight men would be the most difficult to accept it. And in reality, they were not. They were as happy as everyone else. And that really made me believe that, you know, we're moving forward, things are changing. And you know, the truth is that I feel very proud to live in this era, in these times, because thankfully I am not being persecuted for the person I love. And that was not the case a few years ago. It still isn't the case in some parts of the world. So I'm very happy and proud of the fact that, you know, we live in a time where we're having this open discussion and we're talking about it freely. And it's not about being gay or not, it's about any minority that exists in the world. We're coming to terms with the fact that being different does not make you inferior to anyone else. Being different still means you're 100% equal to anyone around you, anyone else around you.
Very well said. Let's talk about some of the tracks, because these are, like you said, many are covers, which are all, several songs that were very important for you, inspirational for you. You've done one of my favorites, ABBA's, of course, I Have a Dream. What was it about that song that had such an effect on you, and also so happy that you did, because it's such a great song?
I love that song. I've had it in my ears since I was a kid. Yeah. I remember hearing it on the radio, and it always gave me such joy that when I was going through lists of songs to pick for the album, I thought, oh, I'm having this one. And the fact that it says, I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. It's so innocent that you cannot not enjoy this message. You cannot not feel so happy and fulfilled when you hear something like that. It's just fun and cute and innocent and beautiful.
I know, it's one of my faves. I'm a huge Mamma Mia fan, of course, the Greek connection.
Who isn't?
Are you going to hop over to London to see ABBA Voyage? I think you have to.
I am actually thinking about it. I was invited actually a few days ago. I may just do it. I'm not sure if I have the time, because I'm about to start a tour here in Greece, but I'll do my best.
So that's what I was going to ask you. So you're getting ready to do a tour in Greece. How excited are you to be, back connecting with your fans, especially now that you've, just revealed a lot about yourself and just feel like very comfortable in your skin?
Oh, I'm very happy. The truth is that my coming out has nothing to do with seeing my fans on stage, only because the truth is I really know, and deep down, that my fans knew the truth about me from day one. I've never pretended to be someone else. I've never pretended to be anything other than what I am on stage. So I know that, our coming back together will be as strong as ever, and it'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see them, because I haven't seen them in a few months. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, I am sure they are very excited to see you, and let me know if you hop on over to the States. I'll be at your show for sure.
Thank you. Well, hopefully next year,
yes,
we will have a tour in a few places around the world.
That would be awesome. So George, I know that you also have this amazing PBS special that is just so beautifully shot. Tell me about what it was like to get to do that, because like I said, it's really breathtaking to see.
Well, this was, I think, the most important moment in my career so far, only because I was given the incredible chance to be the first artist in history, actually, to perform on the grounds of an ancient Greek temple. It was never done before. And we filmed this incredible show during sunset. And that's why we've called the show A Sunset in Greece. It's on PBS right now in the States. So you can watch it or online or in your local listings. And, it was this moment where you realize that you're standing in front of a 2,500-year-old temple. And for some weird reason, you're the one singing in front of it. And it's really difficult to understand. It makes you wonder why. And at the same time, you're in awe of the energy of that place and what it gives you. So I'm very happy that we got to play some of the songs on my new album, actually, on that special, as well as some other songs from my other repertoire. And I really hope you like it. It's one of the moments of my life that I'm really proud of.
I love that. All right, everyone, PBS special, go find it. That sounds so amazing. George, I know you also have recently started working with an organization called UNICEF, which does amazing work. And I know it's really important for you to use your platform to give back. Tell me about getting to work with UNICEF.
Thank you for asking me this. I'm actually involved in two different organizations. One is in America called the Horatio Alger Association of Distinguished Americans. And it's an organization that grants scholarships to young students who come from adversity, from a very difficult childhood. And of course, UNICEF, like you just said, which makes sure that, children's rights are guaranteed everywhere around the world. Because of the fact that I come from a very difficult childhood, there was a lot of abuse, emotional abuse. it's very important for me to, work for children's rights and make sure that children have a safe space to exist. And especially with UNICEF, I will be, my studies, if you will, and what I will concentrate on is child abuse and in the LGBTQ community. So I think it's important that we do whatever we can to help kids blossom and to help kids be their own true self and feel safe. Because, if there's even one child that feels unsafe, then we've all done something really wrong.
Well, happy Pride to you. Thank you for sharing your story. And just a reminder, everyone, George's album, No Armor, is out now. And if you find yourself in Greece,
come find me.
Exactly. But very nice to meet you. I'll talk to you very soon.
You too.